Welcome, welcome, welcome. TBW Clips. I am Tyson. Today, New York, Mayor Adams. He's been taking some the past couple of years, whether it be with the migrant crisis that's going on, them being the sanctuary cities, giving migrants resources while residents there complain that they're not getting resources. So he's been getting it, right? He's been indicted. I don't know what the indictment is for. We're going to check out this clip and see what's going on. Why is Mayor Adams, why has he been indicted? Let's check this out.
Breaking news right now, sources telling the Associated Press that Mayor Erik Adams has been indicted by a federal grand jury, making him the first mayor in New York City history to face an indictment. Good evening. I'm Natasha Verma.
And I'm Steve Lacey. Rumors have been swirling that this was imminent following the federal raids on the homes of members of Mayor Adams' inner circle and the wave of high-level resignations from his administration. We have live Fox 5 coverage tonight.
There was a raid on members of his cabinet. This is so I guess they saw that this was coming down. Now let's keep this in perspective. This is Joe Biden's DOJ. So this is the same Brandon Bragg, Letitia James. This is their form, right? So they're the ones that I guess have, no, I'm sorry, I was wrong, because that was state. This is federal. So this is Biden's DOJ. This is his federal employees going after him. So I misspoke on that. This has nothing to do with the state, Alvin Bragg or Letitia James. Let's keep going. This is Joe Biden's.
Let's start with Morgan McKay, who joins us now on set with this stunning development. So right now we know the indictment's coming, but we don't know for what. That's what we find out tomorrow, I guess.
Exactly. Now, we know there are at least 4 federal investigations surrounding Mayor Erik Adams right now. But from what I'm hearing from sources is that this indictment could be tied to the federal investigation looking into whether Mayor Erik Adams accepted illegal campaign donations in part from the Turkish government. Now, we first learned about this investigation on November 2nd.
Illegal campaign donations from Turkey? From Turkish government? That's what she just said? Let's go back. Let's make sure that's what she said.
And looking into whether Mayor Erik Adams accepted illegal campaign donations in part from the Turkish government. Now, we first learned about this investigation on November 2nd of last year. You'll remember that the FBI raided the home of his top campaign fundraiser, Brianna Suggs, and Adams at that time was flying to D.C. and he quickly just turned around and came back.
Right.
But it's still very unclear. We do not know what's inside this indictment. We do not know what charges or if there's multiple charges in this indictment. That indictment will be unsealed, I'm hearing, tomorrow morning. So we'll hopefully learn more.
So this is about campaign funds. A lot of Democrat mayors seem to be having issues with the campaign funds. You look at the mayor from Oakland. We did a couple of videos about that a few weeks ago. I don't understand. I don't get it. Are these guys just pocketing money from campaign funds? Because it's the campaign things. They're not supposed to pocket that money personally in any way. It's specifically supposed to go towards campaign type funding, right? Hence campaign funds. So let's keep going.
there. But we just also recently found out as of this week that the federal investigators have broadened their search and have included other countries such as Israel, South Korea, Uzbekistan, Qatar, and China. Now, we know that Adams has traveled to China at least 7 times. He's traveled to Israel last year. He traveled to Qatar in 2022, I believe. And so he said he has also been to South Korea when he was a state senator. And as far as we know, he has not made a trip to Uzbekistan, but maybe there's something there. Maybe they just saw some sort of piece of information. It's also really unclear if this is tied to any of the other investigations, particularly looking at the NYPD Commissioner, Edward Commissioner.
So why would he be taking outside money from other countries? She just named a few of them. I don't understand it. Is this because he's having a lot of illegals go to his country, his state, as a sanctuary city. His city, I'm sorry, not his state. And the state also, but his city in particular, New York City, they've been having a lot of complaints about migrants. Is he getting funding from other countries to continue to allow this to happen? I know because he's a sanctuary city, they're supposed to get funding. That's what the purpose is of being sanctuary. Usually they'll overcompensate for the people there. So if you have if you're a sanctuary city and you have 5,000 migrants that showed up, they'll overcompensate for that, the U.S. the federal government. But in this case, you had so many they couldn't overcompensate. The money that they were going to give them, it wasn't enough to withstand the amount of illegal immigrants that came in. So I'm thinking maybe he was collecting money from these other countries, saying that I won't be able to provide for all these people unless you guys give me some funds, and we'll keep it going as a sanctuary city. That's the only thing that could come to mind why he would take foreign dollars like this as a mayor of a city. He's not a governor. He's not a senator or anything like that. He specifically deals with New York City. So I don't know how him taking foreign dollars would impact him in any way, or what he would be able to do for those foreign countries besides immigration, right? Let's keep going.
So we don't know the specifics, but at its face, I mean, this is a stunning development. I mean, it kicks off now an indictment of a mayor for the first time in New York City. What happens next in the process with Mayor Adams?
So this is huge. There's only 2 New York City mayors who have ever resigned in history. That was Jimmy Walker in 1932 and William O'Dyer in 1950. So right now, if Adams doesn't resign, the only person who can remove him from office is Governor Kathy Hochul. If he does decide to resign, then this kicks off a pretty quick process. So the public advocate, Jumaane Williams, would step in as acting mayor, and then they would have an election about within 80 days of when he steps in. And after that, all the candidates would come forward and it would be a ranked choice voting, and there would be no party affiliation. So it would be just an open.
So in other states, I know they have stuff called recalls. So I'm guessing because he has to resign, they don't have any type of recalls or anything like that in place, like they do in California. They're trying to recall Gavin Newsom again, but I digress. That's another topic. But yeah, so I would think that he has to step down, and then they would start the process of getting a new mayor, where they have all candidates. It doesn't matter. It will be open for Republican or Democrat, Independent, Green, or whatever. So, because do they have lieutenant mayors? You know how they have lieutenant governor, they have the vice president. They don't have anybody that's second to the mayors. That's what I'm thinking, because Yeah, because the person who would be second to the mayor would come in and they would finish out the term. That's how it should be. But they're saying that they're going to have somebody come in place of and then have elections right away. So he has to resign. If he doesn't resign, what happens? I don't think they talked about that.
Election because there would be no primaries.
Right. And we have heard a little bit from the mayor tonight, sort of previewing what we think is going to be his likely defense strategy, right?
Exactly. We got a statement from the mayor and he said, quote, "I always knew that if I stood my ground for New Yorkers, that I would be a target, and a target I became. If I am charged, I am innocent, and I will fight this with every ounce of my strength and spirit."
So he's trying to fight this. So he's fighting this. So he said that he's a target for standing up for New Yorkers. But the New Yorkers don't think that he's been standing up for them. Now, who would target them? Who would target him? This is federal charges. So this is the people who are in charge are Democrats. So the Democrats are coming after this specific mayor because he stood his ground for New Yorkers. That's what he's saying is happening here. Usually when it's the same party, I haven't heard the mayor say anything against the current administration, the Biden-Harris administration. I don't think there's any type of bad blood between them. So this is not kind of like a Liz Cheney going against Donald Trump. You see that there's vitriol, a lot of negative stuff going on there. So she went after him. I have not seen this with the Biden administration, so I don't know why the Biden administration would go after Mayor Adams here. There would be no reason for that if he's standing up for New Yorkers and he's a Democrat. I would not think that they would just go after him. So by the Biden administration going after Mayor Adams, I would think that he's actually done something wrong here. Otherwise, they would not. They have to have some kind of a bunch showing this because usually Democrats to their own. It would be because they had no other choice but to. And I think that's what we're seeing here.
Now, obviously, they're reading a little bit between the lines. Something that he's kind of been hinting at, and some people have said out loud, is that he believes in part that he has been targeted by the federal government because of his criticism of the Biden administration when it comes to the migrant crisis. He was one of the most open critics.
I just talked about that. I have not seen any rift. I have not seen any rift. Now there is rift because he could stop this. There would be no reason for him to go after the Biden administration about immigration when he is a sanctuary city. He wouldn't have any problem with the migrants or the Biden administration if he was not a sanctuary city. So maybe because he's been, like I said, he's been getting beef from his constituents, from the people living in New York. The citizens there are complaining that the migrants, that because they're a sanctuary city, they have migrants come in and they are putting their needs above the citizens there. So Mayor Adams is like, it's not me, it's not my fault. I'm going to blame the Biden administration, which he shouldn't because he's a sanctuary city. The people there should know that they're a sanctuary city. So it's all on the people and the mayors. But I haven't really heard too much of a rift between Mayor Adams and Biden. Maybe they didn't talk much about it because they didn't want to bring light. Crisis, they're different. Maybe he did feather some feathers and went against the Biden administration, but I haven't seen it in the media. Let me know down in the comments if you saw a lot of this rift happening.
Of Biden when it comes to migrant crisis, since New York City has seen over 200,000 migrants come to the city in just the past 2 years. Obviously, that's not exactly what he's saying, of course, out loud, but hopefully we'll hear more from him tomorrow. Because another question, too, is when will he surrender to the feds?
That's right. I mean, you're always at City Hall. And over the last few weeks, I mean, really since September 4th, I mean, when the federal investigators seized electronic devices from city's police commissioner, schools chancellor, deputy mayor of public safety, first deputy mayor. I mean, since then, top aides have been investigated by feds. What has been the energy, the feelings at...
They have not been talking about this much in the media. This is what I'm saying. Maybe I haven't been watching, but I haven't seen a lot of news on any of this stuff. A lot of his team being indicted or being investigated. I haven't heard of any of this stuff. When I saw this the other day, Mayor Adams indicted, I was like, what's going on here? Because I didn't know anything about the story. Usually when they have something that's big like this is big. Usually when they have something like this, they'll run it for days. It'll be a top headline. None of this stuff I haven't seen any of this stuff. Let's keep
City Hall?
Right now, people have becoming growing increasingly frustrated with the distractions. And they say it's hard to do their job. It's even hard to communicate with the press about something that they want to talk about, some initiative that they want to do, because everyone is just talking about this right now. Now, since, in just the past hour, we have seen just an outpouring of people and lawmakers coming forward, calling on Adams to resign. I think at least 5 more lawmakers on top of the 8 that have already called on him to resign.
AOC being one of them too?
Exactly. Yeah. And so I know from one of my sources, they were saying that, there was possibly some indication maybe to her that this was coming down. Now, the House Minority Leader, Hakeem Jeffries, he kind of was defending Adams a little bit earlier today when he was asked, because he said, we need Erik Adams to be successful because he is the mayor of New York City. So I don't know if you'll have more comments after this indictment.
Attention retired.
So there you have it. So Hakeem Jeffries seemed like they said he kind of came to the aid, but that doesn't make any sense, though. He said we need him to be successful because he's the mayor of New York, but their Justice Department is going after Mayor Adams. They don't have to. They don't have to do this. They've looked over several things that prominent Democrats have done. They just brush underneath the rug, right? They don't have to do this. Like I said, it seems like they have targeted Mayor Adams. He alluded to that, saying that they're targeting him because of his stance. He took a stance against Biden over the migrants, but he's a sanctuary city. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. But that's what's going on. My comments, if you this is because Mayor Adams went after Biden because of the migrant crisis. I doubt it. I think it's something else. I think he's actually guilty, and they couldn't stop it. If you have unfutable evidence of someone doing wrong, you have no choice. Because I think that's the only way that Democrats actually go after their own. They're pretty much loyal. Unless somebody has done something egregious. Harvey Weinstein, they had no choice but to go after him, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't have done anything. So let me know down in the comments what you think about that. I appreciate you guys watching as always. And you guys have a great day.